Hello, bonjour, Savan. How are we today? It is Sunday, June the 1st, 2025, here in southwestern Ontario, Canada, by the beautiful shores of Lake Huron. Coming on tonight, well, it's evening, it's dinner time. I just got in from my walk at the beach. Oh, that wind is still so cold. It feels like the beginning of April here. Not complaining, there's no snow, so we're good. Been spending the last week in my garden, so feeling good every day, couple hours, digging out all the weeds that have taken over. Sorry, the plants, there are no such thing as weeds. It's just the plants that I do not want in my garden, let's put it that way. Some invasive species have decided to take over, and I think I've got too much light there. Let's see if I can fix that. I've just decided to usher it out. So I think another day of digging it up will suffice, and then I can plant my herbs that I want to fill in all the spaces where this invasive plant has decided to roam. Anyway, I'm coming on because of something I've been watching in 3D news, which, as you know, I don't normally do. But there are all these YouTube videos coming up. And I've actually started to watch some of them because it's interesting, but it's also a little humorous to me. And it's about this Canadian, boycott of American goods and travel and, just like everything from what I could see. I think Americans, and again, I grew up on a border town, so, you know, I don't really see too much of a difference growing up Canadian. Go over the bridge to the States and you go shopping and you come back. I mean, it was just, my cousins, as I've said, have married Americans. There's so much intermarriage. I mean, who can tell the difference? Certain words you can tell. Canadians say roof, O is pronounced oo, like zoo. And Americans say rough, like rough, R-U-F. There are some little quirky things, that you can tell, but basically you can't tell the difference when you're living at a border town. And I have no problem. I have no problem with this. But apparently other Canadians do. So it started off really small, and the tariffs were announced to, penalize Canadian products and stuff. And I noticed when I went to the grocery store, and I may have mentioned this, that there were all sorts of these little signs now popping up on the groceries. So in other words, if I went to like the international cheeses area where you get all these cheeses from around the world. Now there are little signs, and some of them are not so little, and they're red and white, and they have some of them. I think some of them even have the maple leaf, the Canadian flag kind of thingy on it. And it said, this is Canadian, shop Canadian, this is Canadian. So I've actually started reading those little signs, and I'm starting to realize which brands are Canadian, which I didn't really pay attention to before. And it's like that throughout the store. So wherever you go, this shop Canadian, this is a Canadian product. And you can't miss it. Like, even without my glasses on, it's like, whoa, I can see all these signs. So that's kind of how I noticed that it started. I know there were grumblings. I know people were complaining. But let's face it, we all complain about something, right? So I just didn't really think it was any big deal. But now I've been all this week, all these videos are popping up, and some are from an American perspective, some are from American, people talking about it, and others are from Canadian people talking about it. But incredibly, they're both saying the same thing. Like, it's in agreement. The words, the information, they're in alignment. So it's not like one is discounting the other. They're in alignment. So what's happened, apparently, is that the snowbirds, if you don't know, one of the American guys talking about snowbirds says, "What's a snowbird?" It's like, and again, you've got to, you're more used to it if you're a border town, border city kind of person. But anyway, a snowbird is an older person like moi, who's retired or semi-retired, and who doesn't want to, brave the winters anymore. You get older, we don't like the cold so much, like when we were younger. So what we do is we come down south. So basically, Ontarians, they go down to Florida. So lots of Floridians will be, Canadians in hiding, basically. And Canadians, I know so many Canadians, they own a condo at the beach, whatever beach, they'll own a little mobile home or something along those lines, something that's not very expensive. And we are allowed by our Canadian government, FYI, in case you didn't know this, we can spend 6 months out of 12 months in some other foreign country. Whatever, it's of our choice, and still keep our Canadian pensions. If you spend more time, it's not going to happen. So that's what people do. They will maybe downsize. Let's say they have a big house, the kids are gone, 2 people, 1 person. We don't need all this. I don't want to stick around in the snow. It's not fun. So they sell their house, they buy a condo here, they buy a condo in the States. Something along those lines. Unless they are wealthy and they can keep their big house and also afford to live in the States. But believe me, living in the States is way cheaper than living here. So I know a lot of people from here will go to Arizona, and so on and so on and so on. So anywhere where it's sunny and dry and warm, or like Florida, it is a humid, we're Ontarians, we're used to humidity. So it's not that big of a change. It's not difficult for us. We can drive within 2 days. It's a 2-day trip. You fly to Arizona. Most people do fly if they're going to go that far away. And that's what a snowbird is. So we live here in the summer, spring, summer, in the fall, take off to the States, somewhere warm, and we hide out there where it's warm, and we like it like that. Apparently the snowbirds have been canceling their bookings. They've canceled their hotel rooms. They've canceled their stays. And I know, like, I have one of my brothers who always goes down with his wife to, let's say, the Carolinas. And they rent a little house for 3 months, January, February, March, and then come back in April. Lots of people do that too. It's affordable for us. Because like I say, everything is much cheaper where the Americans live. So apparently, this is starting to make a huge impact on the sales in the States because Canadians are canceling. I have also found out that schools who had class trips to the States have canceled. I have heard that hockey teams who normally would go and play hockey in the States have canceled. And so on and so on and so on. So everybody here in Canada, I'm Canadian, eh? If they haven't already canceled, they're in the process of canceling. And so some Americans are coming on like scratching their heads like, we don't understand this, like, what's going on? So it's not just buying groceries. Apparently now it is spreading to places like, Walmart and Starbucks. Any place, any store or a product that is American based and not Canadian, they're not buying it. They're just not buying it. Sales are dropping hard and fast. And of course, again, the curiosity of, that it's not like Canadians said anything. Like we will say it quietly to each other, but that's about it, or usually behind your backs. But all of a sudden, we're being noticed that we're not showing up. We're not buying American goods and services. We're not going on our vacations. We're not crossing the border to go shopping in the States, which is what we always do, because it's so much cheaper, right? And you have really neat products that we don't get here sometimes. It's making a huge dent in the American economy already, and it's only been like, how long? It's not been very long. But I'll explain this if you don't already know. I've talked about this, I know it may have been years ago. But Canadians, remember our historical background. Okay, we're a mix, just like, the United States. It's a mix of different races who came over from Europe. Now, we have a whole bunch of new Canadians. I'm not going to talk about those cultures. I'm talking about the original cultures who came over from Europe. And as we know, it's Scottish, Irish, some Welsh, English, and after the war, Germans. Okay. We have a whole bunch of new Canadians now. They are of various cultures, but they're new. Okay, they haven't been here very long. You go and research what Scottish and Irish and English people are like. Don't forget the French, because Quebec is a very large province full of Quebecois, French background. Have you ever been to France? Okay, so research what these cultures are like. And we can be very nice to a point, and then we're not nice anymore. But we go about it quietly. We don't hold big, boisterous riots in the street. We do what's called ostracizing. And that's what we do here. If we don't like you, you're not allowed to be with us. So you come in, you see a table of Canadians sitting around. If they decided they don't like you, you're not allowed to sit at the table. All backs are turned. Nobody will talk to you. Nobody will engage with you. Nobody will have anything to do with you. You're out. And that's how you're treated. Nobody does anything. Nobody gets into a fight. Nobody threatens. Nobody hauls out a gun. You're just, what is the word I'm hearing? Excommunicado. You're out. And so that's what we do. So Canadians have been talking, we don't like the tariffs. We don't like what's going on. We don't like what Trump's saying. We don't want to be a 51st state. Even though, let's face it, as I've said before, we have more in common with Americans than we do Europeans. Just saying. But you've hit a wasp's nest. I don't know, maybe you want to rethink how you treat Canadians. Because from what I'm seeing, I'm actually tuning into this. It's going to get a lot worse from here. It's just going to go, yeah. Kind of feel sorry for Americans. They just don't know what they got themselves into. And we're just going to be so nice about it. Bye. Bye-bye. Have a nice day. No, we don't want to buy your products anymore. No, but you have a good day and a nice life. As the door slams in your face. And that's how we do things here. So I've said to you before, Canadians may look really nice on the surface, but if you go and you scratch and you go down a little deeper, you're going to find out what we're really like. And we all know this about each other. And that's why we're so polite. That's why we say we're sorry, so that we don't get into a fight. Because, look at our history. Look at the background. We don't back down. I feel sorry for you. You don't understand what's happening here. Once it starts, I'm getting this, I'm hearing this. It's not just 3D me, I'm hearing this. Once it starts, there's no stopping it. It's like a snowball going down a hill. It just gathers steam, it gathers strength, and it just becomes an avalanche. And it'll knock you over. It'll bury you. And I'm hearing to say 6 feet deep. So I personally do not know where this is going to end up, but I'm just giving you the information in the background from a Canadian, okay? And I'm channeling some more information that I didn't know about. I'm just hearing it with you for the first time. But it's going to get worse before it gets better. But we're going to be so nice while we do it. I love you. We're all one. This is just division causing, okay? Ask, why is this division causing situation happening? Don't get distracted from the bigger picture. It's all a lie. Okay? Bottom line, when you see somebody stirring the pot and getting one nation or one people to fight the other or to disagree, causing division, look at who's doing it and why. It's always about, I know people say, well, you got to follow the money. Okay, that's true. But it's really about power. It's about control. It's about who's pulling the puppet strings. So, from a higher spiritual point of view, don't get all caught up in this. Don't get too crazy. Don't get too carried away by it, because it's nothing in the end. All right? It's being done on purpose for a reason, and you're not going to like it when you find out why. So that's all I'm hearing to say. I'm going to ask, can we know why? No. That's giving too much of the future story away, and no, not giving it to me. So that's okay. It's the way it gets played out. Can't give away too much of the information, or that may alter the course of history. Okay, so there we go. Anyway, I just I didn't intend to go into all this topic, because I don't normally get into 3D stuff. It's just but yeah, it's just been it's just been a little bit too much. So we're going to start caring a little bit more about this situation, and we'll be speaking about it in a higher vibration. Okay, so we'll come back again another time, and we'll be downloading and channeling the information from the higher light, so that we can understand the actual restorative site, because we'll be coming from our higher might. God bless. We give you peace, love, and light. We're speaking to you from our higher insight. Okay, so, gosh, I'm really hungry. You're probably hearing my stomach growl, aren't you? It's just like I was going to get dinner when I got in, but then it was just another YouTube video popped up, and it's all about Canadians. They're not spending their money on American anything at this point. So yeah, it's just going to get worse before it gets better. So ouch. Yeah, it's going to hurt some pocketbooks for some time to come, because there is that aspect of it too. Like, once you lose a regular customer, they will become loyal to someone else to replace you, right? I mean, that's what we do. We're creatures of habit. So let's go to the mom and pop corner store. Wow, I didn't know they had these products. Like, they're really good. I think they're better. And I can put in a special request, and they'll do that for me too. I think I like this better. I don't think I'll ever go back. Even if all this stuff stops and it goes away and it's just a bad dream or a bad thought, I don't think I'm going to change. So there's that aspect of it too. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything else to say, so I want to go get dinner. I did just put up my June 2025 newsletter on my website, www.healingourenergy.ca. I have a special for June, June solstice special. That's how you'll see it on the website. And I'm offering, because this month is like crazy. There's so much stuff. It's supposed to be the most important month of 2025. So stuff's gonna happen. So the 20th is our solstice, and lots of stuff's gonna happen before that, and even more after that. So in case you need to talk or have any questions about what's happening, I'm offering a special for the 1 hour. Instead of my usual $80 for a session for 1 hour, it's only $55. That's what Spirit guided me to do, so that's what I did. And also the 90-minute session, which is normally $100, is at $75 if you prefer the longer session. That's for any type, so in person or the go-to meeting, which is like Zoom. I don't really do telephone too much anymore. So we'll just say those types of sessions, okay? And I think that's about it. So blessings, take care of yourselves and others, and we shall see you another day. Take care, bye for now.